Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to some Flight Sim World with Mr. Adrian. And this is update 12. Wow, 12? Yes, I skipped over 11 because it wasn't a particularly exciting update. In fact, very little happened. This one was going to be a lot more interesting, but it looks like they've yanked something at the last minute, which is okay by me. If it's not ready, don't bring it out. Whoa, it's a bit windy up here. So, this is Update 12. What changes do we see in Update 12? Well, Update 12 looks to be mostly about the force feedback aspect. As we know a while ago... let's take the throttle back a little bit. Actually, did I? No, I didn't. Naughty me. Naughty, 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 naughty. That's better. Good grief. End up blowing the engine up. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So this one's all about the force feedback. It looks like they've done a lot of work, like problem hunting, and let's just go over it, shall we? Force feedback is disabled when the game starts. To avoid any incompatible issues causing the game to crash during startup, which, you know, would be a bit of a problem if you need to turn the force feedback off, but you can't start the game to do it. So it starts disabled, and you can turn it on. Of course, if you do turn on force feedback and you experience a crash to desktop because of it, absolutely go to Dovetail at the what is it, the Kayako? Yeah, dovetail.kayako.com and submit a bug report with a full DX diag. If you're not sure what that is, just type it into the search bar at the bottom in Windows and it should come up, DXDIAG, and there should be a little application that pops up that says dxdiag.exe. And then just save that to the disk once it's done, attach that to your trouble ticket, and off you go. Alright, let's see how badly I can do this. I'm just going to kind of sort of orbit the area a little bit whilst I read. So, True Sky! True Sky's got a little bit of an update. It now aligns the windshield raindrop behavior with the external weather. No idea what that means. Presumably it's got something to do with wind direction. Aircraft changes. The improved exterior glass appearance on the Cherokee. The SSAO and transparency issues in external views are now resolved. Ooh, that sounds pretty final, doesn't it? They are now resolved. Shut up. The Seneca. Balance the volume of the AP disconnect audio. Alrighty, yeah, actually, you know what? That was a tad loud, I thought. What else have we got? Passengers, additional pilot uniforms now available for male and female models. Yeah. Let's fly straight for a little bit, if we can. Oh, wait, I can see my HSI. There it is, look, I can fly straight, shut up. Workshop. There's now a highlight that will tell you in the workshop if you're trying to download something, add-on or a mission or something, but you don't have the add-on that is required to run it. So that's quite nice. It'll tell you, hey, you can't play with this one because you don't have this aircraft, or you don't have this scenery or whatever. That's pretty cool. So you can't accidentally download something that's never going to work because you don't have the appropriate third-party, fourth-party, or freeware add-ons. Presumably, actually, it would be third-party because fourth-party add-ons wouldn't be detectable to Steam. And by fourth party, I mean add-ons that have been acquired through a website, not through Steam itself. So Steam wouldn't be able to tell if it was there or not. Okay, does that make sense? Probably not. Front end, you can now toggle and test forced feedback compatibility. Ah, see? Forced feedback stuff. Lovely. Oh, it looks like I'm losing altitude. That's probably not a good thing, with all these mountains around. Peripheral support, force feedback support has been Yes, you've mentioned that before. The engine crash to desktop seen in the title shutdown have now been fixed. I don't think I ever saw any of those, to be honest. I've got to say that for me, I've only seen one crash to desktop. And I can't remember what triggered it. It was my fault. I did something stupid. But I can't remember what it was. New mission interface planned for update 11 has now been successfully integrated. So, yeah, they've just kind of rearranged the layout of the mission interface at the beginning. There was mention of some third-party hardware being included, but I think that was a miscommunication, and that was planned for update 13 or maybe 14, I'm not too sure. That, or they just left it out at the last minute. I feel like there's a couple of things missing from this one that they tried to get in that was also missing from 11. They're doing a lot of work with Simmel, who are responsible for True Sky, not Dovetail. Keep that in mind when you're complaining. The speed of the waviness, like that there. See that waviness right there? That was something that was supposed to be addressed already, but obviously for specific reasons it hasn't been. Hey, are we gonna fix the anti-aliasing on the distant trees here? That's a bit poopy as far as I'm concerned. Just for future reference. That what they are is cards for the distance trees, but it looks like the anti-alias has been knackered. Now, I want to address a small issue that I have discovered, and I'm not sure when it started because I've been pretty remiss about running my monitoring software when I've been playing the game. I've just noticed that my processor, cores 1, 2, and 3 on my i7 now run at almost 100% constantly when I play flight sim. But that doesn't happen for a good minute or two. The sim will run for like a minute or two, and then my cores will jump from what used to be an average of 60 to 70% load, and they'll jump up to 100% load and sit there. So I'm not quite sure when that started. I have a feeling it started with update 10. I'm not overly sure. I know it's doing it now because I can see it. My 3 cores, my core 1, 2, and 3 are sitting at 100, but their temperatures are not going up, which suggests to me that they are not being utilized. You know what I mean? I think the clock. The load says 100, but the temperatures aren't going up, which suggests that there's a bug somewhere going on, and I need to avoid this hill, don't I? That's probably a good idea. Let's trim this thing up slightly as well. There we go. Something else I noticed is because of this particular issue, it looks like I've lost some frame rate as well. My frames seem to be hovering around the 35 to 45 mark in game, and I'm getting a little bit of stuttering, and I'm attributing that to whatever bug it is that is causing my my cores to fly up to 100% usage. This is a nice area. So, where am I flying today? Well, that's a really good question. I'll give you a clue. I'm in Brazil somewhere. Have you figured it out yet? Well, I'm actually flying over a place called Santos, which is near Sao Paulo. Santos is about 50 miles from the metropolis of Sao Paulo in Brazil. The municipality contains the Santos Marine State Park, created in 1993, the first marine park to be created by the state. It's divided into two distinct geographic areas, the highly urbanized island and the continental area, about 70% of which is protected. The areas differ radically in terms of population, economy, and geography. The exportation of coffee from the port of Santos gave rise to the city and mostly accounted for the wealth of the city at the turn of the 20th century. Exportation and importation through its port have made it a modern city that we find today and turn it into an indispensable outlet for the production of the area that is Sao Paulo. Surrounding the area are hundreds of canals that are hundreds and hundreds of years old. Canals were a very popular and easy way of moving goods around in Brazil and have been for thousands of years. Of course, Santos is also, because it's such a huge center point for imports and exports, it was the entry point into Brazil for the bubonic plague in 1899. Not a piece of history anyone would want to remember. Santos is the home to a coffee museum where so much coffee used to flow through the area that prices were actually negotiated here. It also has a beachfront garden that is some 5,834 yards in length and figures in the Guinness Book of Records as the largest beachfront garden in the world. It has one of the largest seaports in Latin America and regularly handles somewhere around 65 to 70 million tons of cargo a year. It actually handles quite a large portion of the world's coffee exports. Right, let's see if we can get this thing back on the ground. That was some pretty dodgy weather there. So let's just bring the power back a little bit. The airport is directly behind me 180 degrees, so I should just be able to spin her around. Now, normally for a turn like this, you'd add a little bit of power, but I want to lose some altitude anyway because I'm headed for the airport. Hopefully. Oh look, there it is. Lovely. So I want to kill some speed now. And we'll drop some flaps. Yeah, I was really disappointed. Okay, that's a really strange statement for what I'm about to say. When the storm came over, we lost power. And you know, I've got a pretty nice telescope. I like to stargaze. I was kind of hoping that, you know, that the power would be out, well, everywhere. I could whip the telescope out, hook it up to my external power pack, and you know, have a good gaze up at the sky, because there's some really nice stuff out this time of year. But no, we lost power for like 17 hours in our area, but it was just our area. South and north of me still had power. So I still had that horrible orange glow in the sky. It was very irritating. So it just didn't seem worth the trouble to pull out the telescope just because the street lamp outside my house was off. Actually, to be honest, I was secretly hoping that it would blow over, but nope. No such luck. To be honest, this is the first time I've actually sat down and spent with the bloody hell, this weather, with the computer in a while, because I've been too busy cleaning, raking leaves, you know, putting stuff away. I mean, Irma wasn't terrible here, but you know, I still did a lot of prep work for it, and I still had to put a lot of stuff away. This is a really nice area. I like all these hills around. I'm actually coming in a little on the far side. I'm going to kill the throttle entirely. Where are we? There we go. That's not bad. We'll just glide her in. There. Not bad. We've done worse. For some reason, I don't think the game volume is high enough. I think I may have made some adjustments when I took my computer down, because my computer sits on top of my desk, so, you know, to prep for the storm, I unhooked everything and put it under the desk. That sounds counterintuitive, but if you've seen some of the videos, you know that there was a tree. Well, technically there still is a tree sitting on top of my house, so, and I anticipated the tree falling down, so I wanted to make sure that if it came through, it wasn't going to smash my computer. I'd rather lose the desk than the computer. So I put the computer under the desk, and I knew the desk would withhold the debris from smashing my machine. That was actually quite interesting. All the prep work I did, the computer and the telescope were the two things that I moved first. That tells you about my priorities. I'm a twisty little monkey. Right, that's it. We're down, we're safe. I'm gonna do a bug report. Anyway. That's it for the minute. I will see you anon.